Good morning, guys. This is Sam here on Apache Kafka and connectors, Kafka Connect. So let's go to high overview of what we're gonna basically do this, accomplish it. We have a local database and Kafka has the messages record, and we want to send all the messages from the Kafka to our database. And in a nutshell, the Kafka calls these services as a connect services. So you have a connector that is basically going to read the messages from the Kafka and push it to your database Postgres. So there is a little code. That code or class is Kafka Connect, right? And Kafka Connect services are there that's going to run your connector. So I have a file connector. Quickly we see how the connectors look like and how are the Kafka services. So here is Apache Kafka, and we'll come to the schema registry later. Here's the Apache Kafka. It does a k comma v, a key value messages. Message is a key value message where key can be null or not null. Message can be any structured message, flat message, or anything. And we have this services. There is a Kafka Connect. So the Kafka Connect basically launches your connectors, which are here. I can use a JDBC connector. In our program, we want interested in to have use Kafka Connect. It will launch a JDBC connector and take the topics data from the topics and push it to the JDBC. And that when it pushes to from Kafka to up, which is to a database, we call as sync, right? And vice opposite is the source. So we are doing once again a sync connector here under the Kafka Connect. Also, we are trying to send a structured message. We want our JSON message should be verified so that they can be validated. Right, I am going to create a simple order message and a basically schema for that. It's a JSON message, and who's going to do it? Unfortunately, Kafka does not do the schema validation. It is done by another third party called Confluent. Okay, so Confluent holds the schema registry universal, and any message that you want to do use a schema, the schema will go into the schema registry. Producers and consumers, they will do one two thing. They will go to the schema registry, get the schema and validate it. Kafka will not validate because Kafka is very high speed messaging system. Okay, so let's quickly, this is a little overview, and then I want to show this one this is how the Kafka is sitting, and we have a connector here and doing that. So we are using now existing connector, JDBC connector, which is a lot of JDBC connectors available from Debizium. You can write your own, you can use your Confluent, but often people say, hey, I have a JDBC connector, why can't I use a Confluent one? Okay, cool, let's do that. um, uh, Here is thing. So we are going to do the stream data from Kafka to our database, and database is Postgres. We start the Kafka. We start the Kafka services, Zookeeper, Brokeeper, REST, Connect, Confluent, and we're going to start the Postgres. Postgres, I have a Docker Compose YAML file. I'm using a Postgres image to launch, and the environment is Postgres 9. Okay, and this is the sync connector. So I'm going to launch the connector. Let's go to the step third. So we started our Kafka service here, right? And if I launch my connector services, I can say Control C, PWD. I can see my logs here. So I have all my server logs with the control log, October 10, 12:46. It shows all the things server logs. I'm gonna tail here. It's running. So you see the broker is running. I have a 0 broker, and broker is there is a console consumer group also, and there are different things under that. Let's go to the on top of that schema. You have a schema registry log also. We want to make sure again we are doing a structured message using Avro schema. So we want to make sure the schema registry provided by Confluent is running, right? So there is a log for schema registry. So schema registry log. So you see that tail is showing that here schema registry is running too. Okay, so we'll just come out here, and we're gonna go out here and default to our server logs as we go. Let's quickly go to, so we have our schema registry running, right? And we'll close this guy, and we have this schema registry running connector. producer and send message, start consumer to see the message. So we have the number one running. We have broker and connect conference running, and Postgres I already showed you. Let's see the Postgres is running or not. So I have this one here, and if I say select, let's say slash C. So it lists all the basically connections. I have a Postgres a database, and I'm going to see in the relations, I have only one created a one table exists, that is the orders. Okay, this is where we're going to push the data from the Kafka. Okay, so let us view our state. Select star from orders. Okay, so we have up to 6 records because we're gonna send some messages to Kafka and we'll append to this one. Let's go out here, and as part of the thing, ensure contrast schema user string for start consumer to see, start consumer producer to send the messages. We will use a little thing. This is my producer. I'm using a postman here. I'm gonna say, hey, let's look at what is the new records we should populate. We have up to 6th. Okay, so we're gonna say, hey, I want to put 7 ID and 8. Okay, and we're going to change this value to say um, peach and plum. Okay, and peach, let's make it 22, and quantity plum 45. Okay, price is 15, and price is 12. Okay, so we have this schema. You see, this is my postman. I'm running postman thing, and this is the headers here, and postman is here, others, and I'm going to click send, and it says, hey, the data has been pushed, offset 6, partition 06, partition 06, offset 7. You can create as many as brokers you want, right? Or you can create as many as partitions or application one. I'm using 00 out here into this one, and the data has been pushed. It has gone to the messages. So when I say topic slash orders, I push to this orders topic. Let's see the message is there in the on tab. Let's use a consumer. Okay. So let me quickly go out here. I have this thing. So this is my Kafka Ever consumer. Okay. And I'm going to go out here. So Kafka consumer topics order I want to do from beginning, and my boot server is 1992. You see, I pushed peach and plums. Okay, it is saying the message is in push and peach and plum. If I push the topic, the data is in the topic. I want to push now as a next step from this topics to my database on my system. Okay, and I have Postgres. Let's look at the Postgres thing and select star from orders. You see, it has pushed from peach and plum. Why it has done? Because I'm running a connector, right? And thing. So let us go out here and say, hey, do I have a connector running or not? So let's do thing. Okay, so I'll use a curl. You see, I'm running this curl command, and curl command has given me output that, hey, you have a sync topics, all right? Sync topics, okay? So, and we have running the connector sync topics that is pushing, and I already, we see out here, this is the sync topics. Look at the name, sync topics. Its class is a JDB sync connector, is a confluent connector, and I'm using Postgres, and it pushed the data to the Postgres. I can inspect also my worker status, right? If I say here, hey, it gives me the version. So I have version 11, this one, and commit ID is this one. So team once again, so what we did was we have let's quickly go back to our diagram here. Okay, so we had a connector. This is a connector we had from the connector, the Kafka sync. So there is a source connector here and sync. So we put our connector here. There is a message here, which is an orders message. In the orders topic, we pushed it and into this connector, and it showed it. Thanks for watching the demo, and we can little go to schema registry also and see our, if you want, how does our scale. This is, you see, consumer. So let's go out here, schema registry log. So schema registry log is showing that we are running into we have run a console consumer to do that, and we ran from the beginning. It is showing that. Okay, so Thank you once again for watching a connector. This was a connector to push the data to Postgres queries. And once again, the SAMB. Thanks, guys.